Click streaming. And we're live. We should be live in a few minutes. So.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What happened now? Did trouble arrive? Did she arrive?
Nah, no trouble has arisen yet.
Now nothing's happened on my screen yet. Oh, here it goes.
CBS
Oh, there's a commercial.
All access.
He said
Damn
disclaimer.
you.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live. We're live.
He said,
I'm excited about EA Access. I may get it because I'm PO this weekend.
Oh,
I may pay $5 and
shout out to the 18 and the 11 likes that we already have.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and direct. And hey, Ryan, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Craig, are you there?
I'm here. Yes, sir.
Then let's get this show on the road.
Yeah.
Question, ask him a sound check. How we sound, everybody in the chat. Put a 1 if we sound good. Put a 2 if we sound bad, please. In the chat. Just want to make sure that's good. Avoid that octobotomous thing that we had last time.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Jamal Bates? What's up, Gaming Over HD? The almighty Spartan God. Billy T. Talus. Master Chief. Who else we got in here? Oh, Dawn, Ice Cream Gaming. The Savage Lobo. Everyone in here. Nathaniel Williams, welcome. Welcome to another episode of the RGT Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on episode 30, ladies and gentlemen. Not 30, episode 70. God, I'm really out of it. We're episode 70. How y'all doing? All right, so, man, it's good to be back home. It's definitely good to be back home. Looking forward to today's show. Nancy will be joining us in a few minutes, so she'll be jumping in a few minutes, so definitely wait for her.
I'm here.
Oh, she's here.
Oh.
I just got the link.
Okay. She's here. Well, I'm gonna let everybody do their intros, and then we're gonna start this show. Do us a huge favor, hit that like button, share it, and let's go ahead and reach more gamers. And big thank you and shout out to everybody that's already been here. Much love to you guys. So, ladies first. Nancy, you got the floor.
This is your girl TTFP. Just ready for the topics.
All right. Mr. Craig Harris.
What's happening? It's Craig, the tech guy, and we got some good tech questions today. And just ready to get it on. It's the last Friday of Hangouts. Let's going. Let's get it going.
The final hurrah of Hangouts. That's why we're still on this right now. That's what we're using to record, by the way. We'll be on our Discord next show, so you'll see our icons on the actual banner. But till then, we're just saying goodbye to good old Hangouts. Carlos?
All right. Now, what's up, people? How y'all doing? Once again, it's Type R87, aka Carlos Fernandez, gamer by choice, not by trend. And episode 70. Damn, it feels like yesterday. Don't it?
Time flew. Time flew. I could have sworn like last week. I felt like we were episode 20. These weeks go by, man. But hey, appreciate y'all that's been here every step of the way. So, let's warm this panel up. Let's start some interesting questions. First of all, what are y'all playing? What y'all playing?
I am playing the new Wolfenstein game, which I didn't know came out today. I literally went up there to put some money on Control, and these black dudes told me that Wolfenstein was out. So I walked out of there with Wolfenstein, the Young Blood or Southern Blood or Baby Mama Blood. It's something like that. But it's running around and killing Nazis in these special suits. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Mr. Carlos, what you playing?
Actually, I've been a little bit on a hiatus for a couple of days. My car had broke down, but I did try to play a little bit of Turbo Chase, which is on PSN, which is cool. I like it. I got a couple of cars in that one. Went back to playing Gran Turismo Sport again because I like playing my racers. Been doing some offline practicing on Tekken 7 since you guys, especially you and Nancy have, put that fire under me to play fighting games again. So I'm going back, hitting the lab.
Well, you definitely
trying to learn a couple of new sets and new moves.
Yeah.
certain characters. So kudos to you guys for reinvigorating that need to play some fighting games again.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell that's happening because Nancy's out here trying to low key slaughter people. She's trying to assassinate people on stream wise. I seen her upload some clips, so I
Oh, I
see
can't
her
wait to see
putting
this.
extra overtime. What you playing, Nancy?
Blazing Chrome.
Blazing Chrome. Okay. All
How you
right.
like it so far?
I like it.
Reminds you of that old school Contra gameplay, right?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Very nice.
How's the D-pad, Nancy?
It's fine.
Cool.
Okay. For sure. Well, let's jump into this. And yes, for those you wondering what I'm playing Tekken 5. Or Tekken 7. I'm also playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I have Odyssey literally right here. I gotta hop on, so I literally have a huge backlog of games that I gotta get through. Obviously, before we jump to
I
next.
like an Origins, the setting of Origins.
The settings for Origins is good. I like it. It just like when you're so used to Assassin's Creed being a certain style in a certain way. Like for example, you're used to this big story-driven experience. The fact that the game is more of an RNG type of game is just like, it's not necessarily clicking with me as much. I do like the character though, but it's not necessarily like over the top to me. But I do like some changes, do like some changes to it. So it's all right.
I finally got the platinum for Days Gone.
Oh, we finally got platinum. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
finally.
Nice. All right.
Did enjoy it, so I can't wait till the next Days Gone sequel comes out, so I can actually enjoy platinum that one again too.
That's gonna be a while, but yeah, it's one coming. They're working. I believe they're working on Siphon Filter.
Ooh, let's go.
But yeah,
What you guys playing in the chat? Let me know. But let's get into the first topic. So let's begin. Obviously, we have Gears of War 4 playing in the background. This is running on the PCs, running on my rig. But there was some news that came out for Gears of War 5. And not so surprisingly, I saw some interesting comments. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't necessarily mean anything bad for the game. Single player could definitely be true 4K if they're actually pushing the visual category. But for the multiplayer, I've heard a lot of mixed reactions, right? Some people telling me that it's a lot like Gears of War 4. Some people say they love it. It's super smooth. It's very fast. It's very responsive. So in terms of the actual multiplayer, they confirmed that it is legit running at dynamic 4K, and it even drops as low as 1080p during the actual game. Now, the reason why it's dropping resolution is not because of the hardware. It's actually dropping resolution is because Microsoft wants to prioritize performance for Gears of War 5. So, would you guys consider that's a smart move or a bad move that they prioritized?
Actually, that's actually a great way to, minimize lag during gameplay or transitioning into certain areas within the maps. So it's not something that's wrong. It's nothing to frown upon and to say, oh yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I do it for I just do it for kicks, just to clown people on Twitter, especially the Xbox and streaming. But as a multiplayer online kind of situation, it's actually beneficial for the gaming experience to be more smooth as possible. So even with this rendering down to 1080p, it's still not a bad thing. It's actually something that's accommodating the player to get the perfect kills. Because sometimes when you play online and you have this lag, and let's say you're about like a couple of milliseconds off from your target, yet the person still gets the kill over you, it mitigates the experience. You feel pissed off. You feel like you're not playing the game to its full potential. So it's nothing bad. Just take it in a grain of salt.
Okay. Nancy, I know you played it, so what was your thoughts?
My thoughts is that it, like you said before, what people were saying, it reminds me of the last Gears of War 4. It really does. I don't see much of a difference at all. I hope they do something, to make it better, because I mean, honestly, like I said, if I want to play Gears of War 4, I'll just put it back in, you know what I'm saying, and replay it. It just plays the same to me.
Okay, so you were expecting a complete overhaul in a weird way, like in terms of combat?
Yeah, so something different, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Messiah, what you think about this news regarding the game?
It's an L. It's an L. This is a group of people that ran around in the whole 2017 talking about how PlayStation doing dynamic 4K gaming. It was weak. It wasn't powerful. Xbox is going to show them how to do it. They came up with terms like X going to give it to you and all that stuff. And this thing is fake 4K, and they're just going to have to get ready because they're still waiting on a game for them to say this is the reason why I got the Xbox X. They still haven't been able to say it. So, and I would say it with this game either. I did not play Gears 5. I'm buying Gears 5, but it is fake 4K. And according to them, their own words are now going to be used against them. And it's going to be a bad day when that game comes out. I still think the campaign will be 4K native because Gears 4 was 4K native. But this is fake 4K. It's dynamic, meaning that it drops resolution to the point where to keep up with the frame rate for the performance. So again, I prefer 60. So I'm glad it's at 60. But this is the chickens are coming home to roost. Whatever your mom used to say, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. That's what we used to say back in my day. Your wife wrote a bunch of checks your body can't cash. So they better get ready for the fake 4K of Gears, which is
now Craig, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're saying native 4K, but within the confines of native 4K, we also have graphical settings that are presetted into that native 4K realm, right? Which are low, high, and ultra. Now, even though Forza Horizon 4 has done native 4K natively at 60 frames per second on the One X, the actual settings for it is more to medium settings. So
Horizon is 4K 30. The Motorsports is 4K 60, I believe. But Horizon has a 1080p 60 mode on it. But I prefer 1440p. Everybody knows that. But this is the chickens coming home to roost. The Xbox X is not powerful enough to do 4K 60 on this type of game natively. So and again, the campaign very well. Watch them come out and say the campaign is 4K 60. But it will probably
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
Yeah, it'd probably be mid settings, kind of like you guys, mid graphic settings. But I prefer perform. I prefer they just put the game in 1440p at 60 frames a second with high graphic settings.
Even 1800p at ultra settings, like it really doesn't take away nothing. All it does is just makes the performance a little bit slightly, a little bit sluggish.
Right.
But I'd rather have a game where it's in between performance and and balance than just all performance but no type of good frame rates, because at the end of the day
well, Gears 5 is 1800p
shooter, and shooters PS is where you expect.
Yeah, well, Gears 5 is 1800p native. That's its native resolution when you turn on your 4K TV. But there's a dynamic setting. So at some point, that game does go to 4K native. And it could be when in a cutscene. It could be 4K native. But it's fake 4K. And they're never going to live it down. But it's their own fault. It's by trying to tear down something else, it led to their own doom. What's that great scene in the Ten Commandments when Ramses calls for the death of all of the first Hebrew, and instead that plague comes through and kills all the Egyptians? That's what's happening. They brought this on themselves. This is their fault. So they should have just shut up. I mean, they can't even lose good. I mean, that's how bad it is for them this generation. So yeah, it's as the tech guy, this is a failure for the world's most powerful console. This is an utter failure. But I didn't play the game. I've heard it's fun, and that's the main reason why we play. It's because it's fun.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it as a fan of the lore and the storyline of Gears. I'm looking forward to playing the campaign. The multiplayer, I've never been too much of a multiplayer kind of person for Gears because it really didn't pique my interest. Like I did play Gears 3 a couple of times online, but it wasn't really, per se
Let me
my
let me get a
go-to.
few shout outs out the way real quick. Shout out to Council, shout out to Andrew, what's up? What's up, Pablo? What's up, Mario? Terry. All right, so what's up to Jameer? He said, damn, I thought he was copping for Gears. Nah. This is actually running on the PC. This is a while ago. I forgot to upload the full gameplay, but that's just Gears 4. Let's see here. Who else? Not the message. That mess. Nailbat, what's up? And my bad to King Bo. I hit your name. I haven't hit the other guy, so my bad. You got it, continue. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Anybody home?
Okay.
Oh,
I guess the chat just died.
Nah, but for the most part, like to everybody here in the panel and on the live stream, like you guys gonna understand. You play the games the way you subjectively you want to play in your own liking. Yes, that there is going to be fanboyism all the way around because you want your platform of choice to do better than the next one. That's always going to be the natural thing when it comes to these games. The only importance is just to enjoy them and just play the games. That's it. Don't worry about if it doesn't play in 4K or the FPS is not so high enough. Blah, blah, blah. That's only based on people that are actually playing the games competitively, like esports type, people. Like they love to play competitively online, so they do emphasize performance over visuals because it gives them the edge to play better against people online. But as far as like campaign wise, 4K 30 is still not bad. It's still a good resolution scaling.
Hey, Carlos, you shoot Pablo the link.
Yeah.
The invite. He wants to.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, King, you can comment, right? My bad. I'm on my phone, literally reading your messages on my phone, and I clicked on the wrong name. Sorry. So anyway, sorry about that. Moving on to the other topic. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add to that, yeah? No.
No, it's fake 4K.
Fake 4K.
I mean, for instance, you said it was like Gears 4 as far as this. So they didn't really change any of the gameplay. Is it more fluid, or what do you think?
Okay.
No, I just think it to me it just runs the same. I mean, the gameplay seems to be the same. The setup seems to be the same. The look of the game seems to be the same. It didn't seem to like be enhanced at any point. It was just, to me, it just, from what I saw, again, this is a test, so it could be different when it comes out. But from what I saw, it's just Gears 4. The online. There's nothing else I could say. It's just Gears 4. That's what it feels like. Okay, and I played all of them, so.
All right. Okay.
Wow. Well, heard that.
Heard it from her. Heard it from her herself.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's get into a interesting topic, and this right here, we already know. I already see people running with this, like with fake outrage. But so you guys remember Red Dead 2 with the whole working hours of the game? Dudes was working overtime, not mandatory, by the way, not mandatory at all, but it was optional overtime, and they were doing this optional overtime, and they put the extra effort into the game. Now, obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 shows that the overtime went, full scale, right? It was there. The game looked great. Everything ran smooth. Just, had a few weird glitches, but the game did run pretty good, So,
yeah, it did.
What I find interesting about this, right? There was some contractors who made a few statements regarding The Last of Us Part 2 and Naughty Dog, basically saying that they feel like they're on crunch and they feel like they're on peer pressure because they have to make sure that their work is finished in a designated time. Now, keep in mind, gaming and, you working a 9-to-5 type of job are completely different. Obviously, the deadlines are way more stricter when it comes to video games, especially when it comes to publishers. So, obviously, they expect you to get your work done. This is something that just was not really surprising at all, right? It's not surprising. But the fact that dudes are sitting here, you know, like, or dudes are going with this, like, oh my God, I'm not going to support the game because, you know, they're being unethical or making them work this, that, and the third. I'm like, didn't y'all say this about Red Dead? And y'all bought Red Dead?
I mean, Red Dead still sold plenty of copies. It actually was one of the highest. It's still one of the highest selling games even till now. It recently made the top 5 top selling games this month as well. So it's like it doesn't. I mean, it was a when it comes to certain situations, like people gotta really see things for what they are, not for what they're being put in context. When you sign up for a job, when you go for a job, it is your sole responsibility to uphold to your task, right? Meaning that if at any moment your boss or your employer tells you, listen, I need you to work late today. Are you able to stay? Or are you able to, you know, get this done on time? Because we have to meet up a deadline, right? So sometimes you have to be the bigger person and do your job. I'm not saying don't slave yourself away, but just, you know, don't try to complain about something that is part of your job task as a person, and you know that you have to meet up a certain deadline for a certain project. Like, you can't just complain about it because it's part of your job. End of the day, it shouldn't really be much emphasized that, oh, I work 24 hours. Bro, there are people that work 70, even 80 hours a week without no rest and continue to progress on and, you know, pay the bills, take care of the things that are necessities for them. So with this fake outrage, bro, people just got to quit it and stop saying that they're going to try to not support the game because, you know, they're working for long hours. How about the children that work in sweatshops, that they work even close to 20 hours in one day? Where's the fake outrage for that? Where's the outrage for those people that are being, you know, put to work at low minimum wage jobs and do way less than these developers?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's stupid. If you're on salary, and you have a deadline, it's I mean, I was just listening to Comic-Con. The Russo brothers had that 45 minute thing, and they were talking about, you know, how they filmed for 2 straight years, doing Infinity War and Endgame back to back. And yes, it's Disney, but they still put them on deadlines. I mean, this needs to be done by this day. And they were editing. They said they were going in at 7 o'clock in the morning and not leaving till 10 o'clock at night on editing.
Yeah,
just, you know, so yeah, if you're
you feel on the peer pressure, you know, that's usually you're doing, you know, that's meaning
peer pressure. We got this done, you know, 3 weeks ago when we did this last time, or we did the first Last of Us with less people. I mean, they're probably just busting their balls, but yeah, it's silly. Yeah, people saying that they're not going to buy it, we're never going to buy it in the first place. So I'm buying it because I want to see those 2 girls kiss. That's the main reason I'm buying it. So I'm happy about that. Everything else is subterfuge for me. You know, I'm just buying it.
It's really annoying because they saying all this shit now, but when the game drops, they're gonna forget about it. So I'm not even.
Who are they trying to drop a jewel on my watch? Who just tried to drop a jewel? Is that Pablo I hear in the background?
That's Pablo the Third.
I hear Pablo the Third. Should I say, yeah, okay, what's up, brother?
Hey, welcome back.
You know, I heard y'all doing some little slandering on Gears, so I had to pop in real quick. I had to pop off. Because Gears, you know, that's my shit.
You get it day one though, so I don't know why we even having this.
Yeah, we're all buying it.
Yeah,
so.
It's $1.
I'm gonna have to give y'all the work when it drops. I'm gonna have to give y'all the work when it drops.
We're just playing the campaign. We're not
get that PC ready then, bro. Because that's what
hey Mez, I sent you the
I'm actually trying to invest in one of them shits.
Hey Mez, I sent you the invite, bro. Nancy gave her input on the demo. I'd like to hear what you thought about it. Like, did you think it was good at all, or let me know in the chat? I don't know if you're home yet. Let me know. How'd you think about the demo for Gears?
What did y'all think about the changes they made, like to the Lancer and all that shit?
Everybody's telling me it's like a laser beam. They basically calling the Lancer the ACR from Call of Duty. That's what everybody's calling. That's like the thing I'm getting. The vibes I'm getting from people.
The ACR in Call of Duty, bro.
The fucking Lancer. Like, it feels like it kicks a lot more than it does on 4.
Wow, yo, and I used to hate people because, yo, well, y'all gotta understand that ACR in Modern Warfare 2 was so OP so freaking OP that you could prestige with that weapon alone, just with that one alone. That's how broken that ACR was. And for them to actually do that to this game, like, come on, man, y'all gotta keep it balanced. Keep everything balanced. It actually makes the game more fun. When you have a balance.
Like Nancy was saying, they could change it. It's just a test. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just want to see how that story ends. I mean, I assume this is the last Gears, wrapping it up.
You said this the last Gears? This ain't the last
Well, I mean,
Gears.
they're wrapping it up.
We're getting about like
You know
50
damn
years.
well. You know damn well there's going to be like 9 spin-offs. Stop.
Well,
This
I
ain't the
mean,
last Gears.
We're about to announce Gears 50.
They probably will.
This franchise is going to get tweaked until we get to as many as we possibly can.
Yeah, and that's fine. But yeah, this is the last one with these characters, possibly. So,
I mean, they'll probably do a trilogy, like where it's like new characters each trilogy or some shit. Something like that.
Probably. They'll find some way. They'll probably do like an Elsewhere story type of thing.
Pablo, what do you think about it being fake 4K?
Fake 4K. Yo, hold up. I thought y'all niggas didn't care about resolution. Why everybody talking about resolution when we playing the
Get
game?
him, Pablo. Get him.
We get a little high. Hold on.
Get him, Pablo. Get him.
Ever since Lucas said I'm always quiet, now I gotta get loud. Now I gotta get crazy with niggas now. I gotta get crazy with people now. Like, yo, hold up. I thought resolution didn't matter. I thought it was all about the games. Now
it is.
talking about resolution.
It's too bad the community called dynamic resolution fake 4K when Sony was doing it. So now
I said it though. What's the too? My video, Pablo. You watched my video. I told him, listen, performance is what it is. Performance.
Yes, I mean,
that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's
the performance, man.
Well, okay,
it runs good, man.
All right, so you're saying that the community was wrong for mocking dynamic 4K on PlayStation?
Well, like, not
like
the
community was wrong. I mean,
I know y'all trolling. I know you're trolling, but I'm saying like there's points at time where y'all be mad serious with it, and y'all always complaining about resolution.
I'm asking a question.
The community, they do it too sometimes. You know, I've been seeing them talk shit sometimes. Well, and I had to pull.
Pablo trying to say it. I'm done.
Yo,
Pablo said the community.
Yo, you know the rules, man. You either troll or get rolled. So come on, man.
Yeah, I already know how it is, man. Like, look,
you're saying the community was wrong. That's fine.
Speak from your heart, Pablo.
Yo, they both wrong, man. These Xbox niggas shouldn't be talking about resolution because these niggas don't got games, and the PlayStation niggas, y'all niggas think PlayStation got. I don't know, like. Y'all got games, nigga, all right? But still, like...
The only thing I can say about PlayStation, the only thing that I can vouch for PlayStation is just that they have been providing content for the gamers. As far as Microsoft's, Xbox is just like, it's lacking that substance where people can say, honestly, these are the games that I like to play. There are plenty of games. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of great games on the Xbox platform, but it feels like they're too repetitive in terms of ideas and gameplay style. That's how I feel about certain Xbox games. Now, when you go to the PlayStation side, you have a little bit of a more diverse dynamics of storytelling and gameplay. So not all games are alike on Sony. So yeah, you got some people that might just clown around. Oh yeah, it's walking simulators, daddy simulators, all this nonsense. But deep down, each and every single one of these individuals love to play PlayStation exclusives.
I gotta disagree with that. Well, not like fully, but like the Xbox, they got like games that's different in variety. It's just they're trash AA games. They're not like AAA like games.
There's the thing. They got AAA games. The thing is they're not pushing the ones that matter.
They're not
Banjo-Kazooie.
That's the problem. They're not pushing new IPs. That's why like I'm being a little optimistic about this next gen. I know wait till next gen, wait till E3 and shit. I know that's a meme, but still, like they prepare for the next generation and shit. That at least that's they doing something with that. Now they just got to show that they actually gonna develop AAA games with some of those developers, because some of those devs, all they made have been like AA games. They haven't made any like games that have been AAA or quadruple A or whatever the fuck these dudes be talking about. Like
So Pablo, are we on record that you're saying that you have faith going into next year?
Go ahead. Let's see what Dan. I want to hear what Dan has.
I'm gonna give this dude Phil Pinocchio Spencer one more shot, bro. I'm gonna give him one more shot.
You gonna give him another shot? Okay. I'll give you that.
I'm gonna give him one more shot, bro.
Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the homie Pablo III. Pablo III is giving Phil the last chance. Y'all heard it.
And then 5 years down the line,
I gave.
And then we'll see if
So one more year of your biscuits being buttery. You okay?
I gave Xbox a chance in 2013, bro. And after that, it was like, okay, what's this?
The only thing that's concerning to me is I saw something that Phil said. He said, I think it was him or that Matt Booty guy, the Bootio guy or whatever. He said that they want to develop games and have it to where they're releasing games every 3 months. That's a really fucking bad sign for me because that means they're just going to build whatever they want on the fly and then just fucking ship it out. That's not a good way to develop a good game. It takes time to craft like a fucking masterpiece of a game. Like, The Last of Us. Like,
I wonder how they did with that.
I hope that game did to my heart, man. That game is one of the best games like this generation.
Nancy, what you about to say? Go ahead.
What I was going to say was one thing that Xbox needs to do is instead of making all these other Gears, what I would like to see is a Gears 3 remastered only because that one had the best gameplay and everything. It was the best Gears game ever. It's the best Gears game ever.
Doesn't that contradict what you're saying, though? You're saying, like, they making too many Gears games, but you want them to remaster another Gears game?
First of all, I didn't say they were making too many.
I thought you just said instead of making all these Gears games.
I said instead of making the newer ones that aren't doing anything,
go back and remaster
the best one of them all.
What's the point of doing that though? Like, it's better to just make a new one and then progress like the gameplay.
Because some remasters are very good. And I don't like what I see right now in Gears 5, what I played.
I mean, she got a point, Pablo. Look at Capcom.
I'm a counterpoint what she's saying. Like, I mean, not saying that they should do this.
I made my point. That's all.
I
would like to do.
I'm just counterpointing.
What else? All right, but do me a favor. What else does Xbox have? Shit. So remaster it and give us something that people want.
No, but
that's not true.
Going from Gears 4 to 5, there's not really much they're gonna do. Like, compared to like how they did The Last of Us going into Last of Us Part 2, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a next gen leap. So like it'd be better if they crafted the next Gears. I know this is dumb saying like wait for the next installment and shit, even though this shit didn't come out. But it'd be better to wait for like the next Gears because they'll have new hardware and they'll be able to develop like more new mechanics and shit and new animations because they're working with better hardware. So they're not gonna really be able to do much with 5 because they're still working with the shitty Xbox One hardware. You know what I'm saying?
You played Resident Evil 2 Remastered, didn't you, Pablo?
What's up?
Resident Evil 2 Remastered. You played that?
Yeah, I played that.
See, yeah, that's she's going with like that's what she's going about it. I'm trying to tell you, like she's saying,
to revamp.
She's saying like either revamp something, do something new. Or go back to the drawing board and bring back a classic and do that, up to today's standards, but better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could use Unreal Engine 4 because wasn't that running on 3?
Yes, they're running on all of them. The Unreal Engine. Yeah, the Unreal Engine. I think I don't know. Yeah,
I see what you're saying, but it's better to like make a new one. I think.
Yeah, Gears 3 wasn't that when you were inside that giant worm? That would be cool to see remastered. That was actually
that cool one was fun. That fight was fun.
You know what? You know what just makes no sense. You'll play other remastered games, but when I talk about this one, you're like, "Oh no, I'll just just let them do something new." You play other remastered games, so that make you.
That's not a remastered game.
But never mind. You just said you played a remastered game. That's
a remake. That's different. They built that from the ground up. A remastered is just up-resing a game.
I know what it is.
All right. But I don't get your point though.
Well, I played that.
Hold on, what are you getting tight for? We just talking.
Okay. Ain't nobody getting tight. I'm just saying.
All right, go ahead.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking you a question. Like you snapped at me before and said, "Why would they do that? Why would they do that?" You sounded like you were tight.
That's how I talk.
And this is how I talk.
Okay, all right. So now I know you.
Just me.
now I know you're not getting tight then. So now I know that's how you talk.
Yeah, when I feel strong about a point, I just make my point, and that's it.
Right,
and then I leave it alone.
Bro, that's
why
we love Nancy.
Resident Evil. No, I fuck with her too. I fuck with her shit, but no, that's just not. I don't know. That's a remake to me, though. That's a little.
Well, different. I mean, I beat that game. I killed those 2 lickers, and it said game over because that was the goal, was to kill those lickers.
All right, let's switch this. Let's switch this from resolution. So there was a report from Microsoft. Microsoft's now officially coming out with another UI. This would be number 6. This new UI clearly took heavily, like in terms of its influence, it took it heavily from the PS4. It looks exactly the same as the PS4's crossbar for the.
Can you pull that screen up?
Wait, hold on. How does it look the same?
Can you pull up that screen there, Big Cloud?
Yes,
you added in your podcast the other day.
Pretty sure I have a screenshot.
Wait, does it look the same because it has the same tiles? Like
it's the same setup, pretty much. Hold on,
yeah, I haven't seen it because I don't have an Xbox. Mine was moist. Kept coming home and it was wet.
Nah, it look a little different. The only thing that looks the same is like the top part. Like the top part.
It looks slightly different, but it shares some of the user interface itself. Like it shares some of the same features as the PS4 UI. Like in terms of how the icons are put on certain angles of the screen, just like in the PS4. Mm-hmm. That's what people are like pointing out. But that they look alike? No, they don't look alike. It's just the format of how they put the tiles.
You got a picture of it?
It's on the podcast. Can you see it? It's on the podcast.
It's on the podcast.
Yeah, look on the podcast.
Finding it. I mean, I want to see it because I don't.
It's on the screen. Look at the screen.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. It's just a bunch of pictures that we're flipping through them.
Oh,
what you mean the podcast?
Go to the YouTube podcast. Go to the channel. It's on the podcast.
Okay, yeah. Can you blow that up, please?
I just did.
Yeah. That's the same shit right there.
That looks pretty identical. That's pretty identical, Pablo.
Wow.
Wait, hold up. But they're not showing you the whole page though. Like the bottom of it, they got pins and shit.
They have pins and stuff, but I'm saying that's what you see when you boot up the system. That's the first thing you're greeted with. That's pretty much identical.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's exactly what you see. Yeah, true. There's the pins. You can move stuff around still, I believe. But I mean, again, this is the new layout. This layout, you cannot lie. This is exactly the same as PS4. It's the exact same.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got the same 4 options where you can find games on the store or whatnot under a towel.
That's a good thing though, because the PS4 got the best UI this generation.
Nah, and this is what I was talking about with you last night. Remember, Ryan, when I was telling you about the whole how the UI shares certain aspects of the RAM itself and how it really hinders the performance at times. And part of the reasons why Microsoft is getting rid of Cortana is because Cortana eats up a very large chunk of that RAM.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're getting rid of
now,
Cortana?
what you probably saw, Pablo, I know you said you didn't think it looked the same. You probably saw people posting other screenshots because there was a lot of people trying to counter it with different screenshots. But there was a lot of screenshots involved in this whole menu.
It does look the same. I see what y'all saying now.
You know what I'm saying? Look at it. You can't deny it. I mean, look. There's the PS profile in the middle. It's got the time and all that. It's got the level.
It looks like how it looks when you view like one game and then it has the bottom time.
It's got the folders to tell you, hey, what's related to it, like the DLC, who plays it, how can you stream it, all that. They literally have the exact same layout.
That's good though, because like now that they only have like one page to work with, it's gonna accolade all those resources they put into those other tabs and just make it a lot faster. So hopefully it's a lot better.
Well, what they
Mr. Reese made an interesting point.
They just need games now, so they fixed the UI.
Let me answer this to Craig. Part of the reasons why they got rid of Cortana is because Cortana uses up at least 25 to even 30% of the ESR RAM inside the Xbox.
Yeah, bro.
So they dumped that bitch then.
Bro, it's a lot, man.
Yeah, it takes.
Bro, she pops up even when you don't want her to. Like you could be talking about like I don't know, like fucking Cheetos or some shit, and that bitch will pop up on your right screen.
Nah, you know what's interesting about your post, Mr. Reese? You said soon they'll be copying PlayStation games. Well, there was the Coalition hired some God of War designers for a game. So
yeah,
that
was jumping up and down.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, you might be onto something there because they could be. And I said this in my video. I'm like, I would not be surprised if Microsoft comes out with a game in Norse mythology. I would not be surprised.
Whoa,
I would not be surprised if they came out with something in Norse mythology.
They did that for optimization of the games that they have. That's an optimization team that they hired.
John Tuga game. I know that's part of the reasons why I keep saying that the reasons why they're getting rid of Cortana is because if you notice on your Windows PC, it also utilizes a chunk load of your RAM and your CPU space on your PC. That's why they tell you half the times when I turn on my PC, I disable Cortana completely. I really don't want to use it. I don't. It just takes up too much performance out of my computer. Too much.
Yeah, they dumped that bitch.
So are we in clear here? This is pretty much the exact same layout.
Yeah, basically.
It's terrible.
It's been the same layout. Okay. No.
Yo, Craig, I gotta ask, is that fucking legit? Is that like real? Like
what?
Xbox fucking shampoo?
Yeah, that's legit. That's legit.
Yes, I got some. I smell like no game.
Wait, you thought that was a meme? You thought that was a troll?
Like
Microsoft came out with it.
Oh shit.
No, I smell like no games and fake 4K. This is
they made that before they made a new IP. Like, before, like,
this is what I smell like. I'm gonna go pick up my girl here around 7:30, and I'm gonna smell like fake 4K.
Oh God!
What fake 4K smells like? So,
oh my God, man!
Damn,
oh God!
Oh God! All right. So, anybody else have anything else y'all want to add to this whole user interface debacle?
That's terrible with Microsoft. I can't believe they dumped that bitch.
No, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's just it makes sense for them to go with that, a simple layout. This just goes to show you don't need all this extra stuff on the layout to try and entice people.
Yeah, I think they're gonna carry this over to the next Xbox. Yeah, I think that's why they're doing this.
Yeah,
I mean simplicity gives a better attraction than just overwhelming, abstracting views. Like if you got so much shit going on in one spot, bro, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna be like, you know what? I don't even want to use this crap no more. Why is this even in my way? So simplifying the UI, but with certain features, aspects, certain things that are actually better will actually make the transition from one to the other much more appeasable to the next person. So I'm all for it. It looks a little bit similar to the PS4 UI. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. It does look similar, but
it's not identical, but it pretty much has a lot in common. It has a lot of similar characteristics. Yeah, it's pretty much virtually
I'm
the
all
same
for
here.
it, man. It makes it much more easier for me to tell my son, listen, click on that tile and play that game. Don't click on that.
Okay. Nancy, what's your thoughts on this? Good or bad?
First, I don't that you're using the same, that they have the same thing. I don't have it on mine.
It hasn't dropped yet.
Oh, I thought you said it dropped.
No, it's not dropping yet. I don't think it's out yet.
I think it's dumb. Do your own thing. See, that's the problem. They can't do their own shit. I'm sorry. Why they got a copy? They say, they people like, the people, as Craig would say in the community, say that Sony copies Xbox. Where? No, they're copying Sony because they have nothing else to do. So they say, well, maybe if we make it look like the PlayStation, more people would be interested.
Oh God!
Sorry.
Interested in Xbox? Nah.
Man down.
Xbox just because they have a similar UI. I don't think.
Well, that's what she's saying, is that, well, maybe if they think it's the same, they'll just buy it on the strength of it possibly being the same. I mean, what cracks me up about
there you go, people.
Let me say this real quick. The time is in the same spot. That's terrible. I mean, they even copy where they put the time at. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I told you. This is inspired by PlayStation. They move stuff around. They just put Microsoft's little spin on it. But it's like, y'all see how casually they put where the trophies are on the PS4 and the Avatar on one side on the left, so it's underneath the name.
Xbox about to have trophies and shit.
Yeah, so they legit did that. So again, they're just they doing their thing. But
yo, they didn't copy the trophy thing.
What y'all think about PlayStation boosting the parties up to 16?
I saw that. I was in the preview program. I was able to try that out with Big Mike and the guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not something I don't see anybody using. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The max I've ever been in a party with somebody is legit 7, but I don't think I will ever be in a party where there's like 16 people in there. The reason why there'll be 16 people, you won't be hearing nobody. To me, it might.
Well, I mean, who gets in? Who cares about the size of the party? I'm not online to talk to your moist ass. I'm trying to play my game.
Whoa, pause.
I mean, damn. I mean, seriously, if I'm playing a game, and you ask people, I will be playing, and people will send those messages. I don't answer. I mean, if I'm in the middle of playing, I don't answer. If I turn it on and your message is there, it may be 3 days. I was playing a game. I'm not here to answer.
Damn, I see how you feel. So now I know why you didn't answer my messages on PlayStation.
If I'm playing, I'm not answering you.
I feel you. I'm like that when I'm playing like a single player game. Like I don't really want nobody bothering me.
It's like when I had my Xbox and I was playing Mass Effect, people would contact me to ask me stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm playing. What are you doing?
I usually turn out notifications off sometimes.
Yeah, no, I feel them on that.
I usually turn that off sometimes with certain games. Like certain games, I can't be bothered. I don't want to be bothered.
Man, I can talk to 16 people today. We get out of here. I hit somebody.
Oh God. Well, okay.
You for talking like that.
So, guys in the chat, let me know what y'all think about this UI. I know a lot of people are posting different screenshots, but this right here is the main steel shot that you guys should be paying attention to. This is what happens when you boot up the system on both sides. This is what you're greeted with. The thing is, people are showing you different screenshots from different angles, like different portions of the menu. That's what people are doing, saying, oh, it doesn't look the same, when reality is it's exactly the same. This is exactly what it looks like. So just keep that in mind. This is what it really looks like, okay? So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below.
Well, a friend of mine, shout out to him, when he bought a PlayStation, because he was playing on Xbox, he was like, man, that interface is just, it doesn't do anything. I said, they should put a game in your PlayStation? And he said, no, not yet. I said, well, that's what your interface is for. Ain't nobody trying to get in touch with you, play your game. It's a gaming system. On Xbox, we can sit up there and talk to people. I'm like, man, nobody want to talk to your buttery ass. Just play your games. Just damn. So, like Jack in the chat said, I'm trying to play my game. I don't want to talk to you. I mean, what am I doing here?
Y'all savage with these comments. He says there's 16 people to even have a chat with.
Yeah, cares?
I don't even talk to 16 people. Most I talk to probably 3 to 4 people.
I mean, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe.
Like a chat is like 5 dudes.
What are we not talking about?
I can't do that. I can't do 16 people in a chat. I just can't do it. Too much.
So now this scene right here with this game, this is why I'm buying the game. This scene better be in the game or I'm going off.
Oh, my supposed
Come on, Craig. They're not gonna disappoint you. That scene.
They better not, because I'm telling you right now, there's a little brown.
They're all about empowering women, so I'm highly doubt they're gonna remove that.
Oh my God!
Like Ellie kissed that girl. She put her tongue.
Y'all saw that rumor about Naughty Dog of them saying that it's gonna come out May 5th, 2020 for The Last of Us.
Was it May 5th? I heard a rumor saying it was February.
Yeah, I've heard it was early.
Yeah,
I saw that in the Discord. Somebody posted it, and I took a quick look at it.
No, okay. So, it's
interesting. We'll have to wait and see.
There's gonna be a lot of cross-gen games next year. For the
definitely. That's a given. They're going to probably more likely treat that like they did with the Switch. Nintendo did with the Switch, with they'll have like a few big, massive ones as cross-gen. Yeah. So they'll do that. So you're definitely going to see that for sure.
Man, I can't wait till I play this game, man. I really can't.
Well, I already know what I'm tweeting out as soon as it happens.
All right.
Yo, it feels good being back on this podcast. I haven't been on here in a minute though. I'm not gonna front.
You should come here once in a while, man.
Yeah, man.
Say, what's up, man? You be like, I'm busy.
I'm gonna be regular on here, man, because I want to get on my podcast shit so I can get comfortable doing this.
For sure. Anytime you roll, it's all good. Oh man, that shit. That's console shit is funny as hell though.
It always will be funny, bro. Like, you're gonna have a lot of people that just like talking crap, and it's never gonna change. That's just what the console wars is all about, you know.
Well, but it's not a console war. I don't know if you're telling the truth. You may not like the truth, but it's still the truth. You can just say, "Look, I don't like it. I mean, I don't like the fact that the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and then a black man ran out to the deck of the ship to shoot down planes. He got court-martialed. That actually happened in real life. I mean, I don't like that.
God
but it's
damn,
a fact.
bro. That's messed up.
You know, it actually happened. Now, I mean, they got rid of it. After he died, they pardoned him and gave him, I think, a Medal of Honor. But it doesn't matter. He's dead. You know,
that's crazy.
My point is that you just simply say, here's the truth. I don't like that truth, but it's still the truth. You know, so it is what it is. So, but
I mean, it's just, I think just people just can't handle
the truth. They
can't accept the fact that their console sucks and everybody else is enjoying what they're playing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
It's okay if you an Xbox fan, but don't be in denial. Like, you gotta admit that these niggas don't got no games. Like, just keep it above.
I'm not in
denial. I don't get that. Always bothered me. That always bothered me with Tears. Like, how can y'all keep this?
No, Carlos. I mean, like somebody that just owns an Xbox.
Yeah, just one ecosystem. What ecosystem? And you stuck in that realm. Oh. But Xbox has provided, bro. It's not what Xbox has provided.
That's why I got a PS4, so I'm good.
It really caters. It only caters to your preference, not everybody else's. Like, if you're the type of person that likes to root for one team, fine, root for one team. But there are other people that like other different teams. They don't have to root necessarily for your team. That is part of competition. That is the reason why teams compete with each other in order to become better than the next team. Just the same way as with companies when they compete with each other to sell the products, to show their audience or their consumers, listen, our products do this. They give you this type of experience, and this is the thing that we're providing for you. And that's what people got to really realize. Not, because your system's UI sucks or your chat is crappy. Like, bro, if I had money to buy me a Switch, I'll buy me 3 Switches for me and my kids and not give a fuck about what everybody else is talking about with the whole scenario of the Switch not having any features. Because at the end of the day, I am going to fucking play the Nintendo exclusives, which are Super Mario, Mario Kart, Smash, and Pokemon, because those are the games that are catered to that demographic of gamers. Just the same way as the demographic for PC gamers, they play their PC-rated titles and so forth for the PlayStation and Xbox fan base.
Well,
what do y'all think about the Switch? Do any of you guys have it?
Well, hold on. Let me answer what Carlos said. Because I remember a podcast. I won't say which one it was. They were like, "Well, things are slowing down in the for the Xbox community because no games were coming out." And I just remember the response, and it wasn't a smart ass response. It was Nintendo just dropped. I think it was maybe a Mario game. They just dropped another Mario game, and Sony had just dropped Judgment, and they were like, "There's plenty for us to talk about." It's Xbox that doesn't have anything to talk about.
Yeah,
and because that's the truth. Now that's a hard truth. He
said the person said it's been slow this year, or he
no, they said they were going to slow down.
Years.
No, as predicted, the podcasts were going to slow down or end because there was nothing left to talk about. They built their podcast on the console war, which Phil Spencer ended. He said he didn't like it, so he ended the console war. And so now if it doesn't matter if I built something on sand and now it's gone, I don't have anything to talk about. I mean, I have nothing more to say. I know more about Comic-Con at this point than most of the people who are about to start podcasting on it. I have a bunch of information. I just haven't got it out yet. It's
a funny thing though. Like for the past couple of days, I've been listening to YouTube channels like The Sage, Seth the Programmer. I've been getting slowly but surely. I've been getting back into the whole, manga and comic book scenery. Just listening to the stories and details about characters, which I find interesting. It's just the same way with gaming. Like, if you have a certain attainable subject that people like, people will talk upon it over and over again because they're excited for it. With Xbox, I'm not trying to say that Xbox sucks as much, but there is nothing attainable to the point where you can say, yo, I'm looking forward to this. Yes, I'm looking forward to Gears. I'm looking forward to certain titles, Ori, Will of the Wisp. I'm looking forward to those titles, but that's just it. There's really not much more beyond those titles that you can say, yo, I'm really looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, a new Uncharted spinoff. Like you know, just making predictions for games that are gonna be available in the future.
Right.
That's
well,
what
just imagine we have Sony has China Joy in next Thursday.
Yeah,
And,
what y'all expecting from there? Even though it's going to be, I'm not expecting much out of that, to be honest with y'all.
Yeah,
but,
me neither. I don't know what they could announce.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if they announced a release date for The Last of Us, but aren't they like an American company, right? They're based out here.
Yeah, the only thing I'm expecting
I don't know.
is maybe some Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah,
maybe shown over there.
Maybe something for 14, I guess.
Y'all think DLC, maybe strict, like, or not DLC. Well, actually, it could be DLC, but y'all think probably like exclusive limited editions for like that region or something. Like they did for what was that game they did that had that dope dragon? Yeah, I'm talking about that black dragon PS4.
Scalebound.
No, it was a PS4.
It was the other one. It was Project something.
I don't. Was it Project Awakening? I don't think it was Project Awakening. It was something else.
It's
Project
Nah, it was another game. It was like a dragon on the actual.
That was crazy.
I think it was Project Awakening.
A PS5 game.
Awakening is the name of the game. Project Awakening.
Yeah, it's Scalebound. Remember we were watching that? I'm like,
that's exclusive too, or is that like on every platform?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll probably be a timed exclusive because Sony.
I heard talks of Final Fantasy being exclusive. Period. Like, because there's no talk of other platforms.
Let me make that announcement.
That was
they have history with PlayStation, so that makes sense.
Well, let me.
Yeah, but I mean, were you expecting that to be exclusive?
They also had history with SNES too.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But that's an L for me, guys, because I thought that game was going to Xbox in 6 months.
I did too. I thought maybe Sony was going to have some deal. Yeah, I thought Sony was going to have a deal. Nah, that game is legit exclusive right now. As right now,
I shocked me.
Why are people confused about whether or not Death Stranding is a exclusive game for PS4? Like PC players must really want that game.
Because he never has come out and officially declared it dead for
that's what I'm saying.
PC.
My thing is like with these
first party game.
My thing is with this whole port begging kind of stuff that people like to call it. Listen, if there's no major announcements for anything or said reason, stop trying to make this narrative that people are just jealous or people are just this. If people want to enjoy something, go out and buy a PS4. Stop talking so much crap about console gaming. If you really do believe that it'll play better on PC, then yes, enjoy it. But if you think that just because you're bashing it and not trying to experience the game at first hand, then you're more of a one brand fanboy than you are a gamer, in my eyes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was wrong. I mean, I'm a big enough man to admit that I'm wrong, and I was wrong about Final Fantasy. So I take the L. Like I said, anybody in the PlayStation community wants to debate me, they can come to my podcast and you can debate the king of Xbox. I mean, you can give me free smoke. I mean, go ahead. I mean, the floor is yours.
What's funny?
What he said, Lost Soul aside. Yeah, that's another game people are sleeping on. It looks like.
I'm waiting for that one. Like,
I heard nothing for Lost Soul.
Wasn't that game made by like one guy?
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
It was his.
Just one developer.
That's crazy, ain't it? These small teams making these crazy dope games. Like for example, Cuphead. It was made by 4 people.
Damn it! And how many people made State of Decay? That's kind of sad.
Yeah, a lot.
AAA game is what I heard, which means
that's crazy. But you know what's also crazy? PC players, they don't want to buy a console, but they got a $2,000 PC rig.
I don't know. Anybody who spends $2,000,
they'll buy a console if they see the reason too. The reason why a lot of them don't want to buy the console is because of the performance.
Game, but they don't want to spend the money to play Death Stranding on a PS4.
I really want to play that game.
Let me end all that whole debacle situation about which is more expensive and which is least expensive. Listen, there are plenty of builds that you can play at 720p with no problems, that you can play current gen titles like Fortnite, like let's say Warframe. There are plenty of titles that you can play on a budget-based PC, and it's not going to take away anything from you. The same can be said for consoles. You can play whatever games you want on console. The only difference between PC and console is the limiting factors of performance. That's the only difference between console gaming and PC gaming.
Yeah,
and another thing is that when you're basing price to price perspective, let's say if you take the old PlayStation price point that you have for the PS1 back in 1994 and you inflate it to today's standards, the PlayStation 1, if it would have been released in this time frame, it would have been the same cost as the Xbox One X. You're paying $500. There are plenty of PC builds that are within under $500 that will cost you less, and you can still game on exclusives as well. So that whole situation, people try to create this narrative about you have to pay $2,000 just to play better than everybody else. That's just bullshit. Like you got to really do your homework before you start talking shit about stuff that you really don't understand, and you don't want to get caught in a lie, because there are plenty of gaming PCs that you can buy on the low. You don't have to buy brand new parts. You can go on the used market, such as eBay, Newegg, and these other outlet sources, and buy and build your own PC for the cheap.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that have $600 PC bills, and they're gaming at 1440p, 60, or 1080p, or 80. It is what it is, but I just think it's an excuse that people just don't want to. And to me, just come out and say, I don't want to play on PC instead of making up all this BS that they.
I don't mind, bro. Like I play on whatever. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm gonna be the one enjoying the experience. There are plenty of PC exclusives that I would rather see on console, but I know that it's not gonna benefit the console space because this is hardware limitations. So what do? I got me a PC, and I'm playing those PC exclusives on my rig, and that's it. The same can be said for the console exclusives. If I'm gonna play, let's say, for example, I can't play Gran Turismo Sport on PC. That we already know that. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play the next best thing to it, which is Assetto Corsa Competizione, or the Assetto Corsa, the first one, or Project Cars, or Project Cars 2. Or even iRacing, because those are comparable simulators to that game. So there's no limitations to where you can enjoy yourself on each platform. Is that these stupid moronic fanboys, they like to push this agenda about being in an elite class. Like, bro, you're just a regular dude that sits behind a fucking table that plays games just like the console gamer at home. There's no difference.
Well, the only thing they're elite at is losing. So, I mean, they mastered that.
Yeah, they're 90% of the times, bro.
Yeah, they mastered losing. Congratulations.
All right. Yeah. It wasn't not a whole lot happened this week, which is crazy. What's going on with the gaming news? I noticed that's been kind of quiet.
Super quiet.
It's super quiet. It's been getting sleeper news. Like usually it'd be flooded.
No, there was some news about somebody broke some news about the PS5 GPU, and then 24 hours later had to take that back and say it wasn't for the PS5, it was for our Xbox, and it was for the PS5, and instead of just leaving it alone. So all I can really say, but no, there's it's a good point.
You just brought up a story that was nothing, pretty much.
I mean, EA Access came to PlayStation 4. Does anybody get that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, EA Access is coming to PS4.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, too. Yeah,
corporate greed.
I may get it. I may try it. Like I said, it's only $5. I may give it a shot.
Oh, wow.
See, what Craig is trying to say is that greed is good.
Greed is good. It's got 30 games, and I've never gotten into the Battlefield games. I may try it. Just to play the Battlefield game to see what the big deal is. So I may go ahead and try it. But greed is good. You got to remember that. And it's legal.
Yeah, it is legal.
Now, you need to build or make something that's better not expect. But I get it.
Oh,
It's
did EA
culture
get a
with it
slap on the wrist with loot boxes recently?
Yeah, I forgot what they.
Yeah, they got a slap on the wrist. They said, "Oh, they don't find them to be bad or something like that in one state or something." They got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, great, awesome. Even though there's a video that went viral where dude was literally breaking down how they sucker gamers.
Oh, of course, bro. Like you gotta sucker people to support your needs.
Nah, he had everybody like labeled like he legit like what kind of gamer are you? Are you the type of gamer that buys microtransactions? Are you the ones that just involved in the single player portion? I'm talking. They had a code name for each particular gamer.
Wow, that is so sad.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer said that Xbox has to meet quality. We've got work to do there. First party output hasn't been the best. You think it's a good thing they finally realized their game's been trash?
I mean, it's a little bit late than never, but
yeah.
I mean, something got to give. Like you gotta see the bigger picture. Multiplayer games can only last for so long for your platform, and they heavily emphasized every single game for their platform to be multiplayer based.
To be honest, it's a lot riskier to make a multiplayer game compared to a single player.
Yeah, it is, and it's already showing where those flaws are at.
Yeah.
You can't really, it's good to have multiplayer games. Don't get me wrong. I love the multiplayer aspect of certain games and certain titles, but it's not the end all to meet all. Like you have to really cater to a demographic of people that just want to play that offline mode where they want to be just away from the toxic, the toxicity of the internet. And that's where they have to focus next gen. Creating that single player experience where people are going to say, you know what, Xbox did this title and I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Super chat from El Matador. Shout out to El Matador. He said at this point, Xbox will have more dashboard updates than Xbox exclusives. Phil, thanks for making the dashboard great now at least. Shout out to the Matador.
Yo, y'all dudes is funny, man.
Yeah, silly today. Y'all are silly. Was there anything else to talk about? I mean, damn, it was really dry this fucking week. Incredible. A lot of news dry.
We already said it, man. The summer's gonna be
it was
dry,
a dry
Well,
summer.
think about it. We had Wolfenstein released today. You've got Madden. So I don't know how EA Access works. If I get it, do I get to just play Madden and not buy Madden? I mean, I don't know how that works. But we got Wolfenstein. We have Madden coming out on Wednesday.
You get early access to the games, I think, nowadays.
I think if you got EA Origins, you get to play the game for free on your account. So,
I have Origins. So
I mean, it comes out yearly. They might as well let the people that subscribe to them get that shit for free.
Well, now we got that out the way. Let's have some fun. Let's have some other fun about this outside of gaming. So
UFC 240, baby.
Yeah, we got that, but let's talk about this Avengers Phase 4, man. These new movies, TV shows.
Yo, people saying it's trash, man, but yo,
I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Bro.
How y'all feel about Blade, though? This guy I want to really have a discussion about. How y'all feel about Blade being recast and whatnot?
Oh, I love that they did.
I like it.
That's the best casting of all time, bro.
You think that's the best casting of all time?
Yo. Great, bro. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but yo, he's a great actor, man. He was good in True Detective.
Question of the day: is it going to be rated R or PG-13?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Rated R, man.
It's got to be rated R for them to do it justice.
So like, I don't know how they're gonna work that in. Like, it's gonna feel kind of weird, like him being in the MCU because he's so hardcore of a character.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they didn't have a way to introduce him before. Now with Doctor Strange, they can go ahead and start introducing people like that.
I love how Wesley Snipes handled that, though. I gotta give props.
I like how you handled
real props to Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, he knows he's old, but at the same time, he knows that his worth as the character.
60, right? So, like,
he's almost 60. He's like 56. He's almost 60.
Yeah, still looks good. Still in great shape.
They're gonna find a role for him in the thing. I think that they're gonna make him like maybe a mentor for like the new Blade and shit.
Well, they think they're gonna make him Whistler or give him a Whistler type role of maintaining his weapons. But I think him, and then maybe in the second the re-amp, that's when you introduce Deadpool. So, because they both use swords.
Hey, I mean, since they're doing the multiverse thing, like, hey, maybe you can have a multiverse version of Wesley Snipes' Blade. And
yeah,
I think that's probably on the table. That's why he said he's so fall back about it. Maybe they did approach him with an idea like that because that was kind of convenient that they just brought the multiverse up. So yeah, it's possible.
Well, Feige, Wesley Snipes talked to Feige about 2 years ago. And Feige sat down with him because I think Feige helped produce the original Blade. But Mirsha Ali, he called Kevin Feige, who actually returned his call. And this is a guy who gets phone calls from everybody. And Mirsha Ali said, hey, he's a fan of what Marvel's doing. And he said, I got one word for you. And Kevin said, what? And he said, Blade. And they agreed to it immediately.
Yeah, that shit gave me chills. I was like, yo, this shit is about to be crazy when it comes out.
Yeah, so he walked out on stage. I was like, oh, he's going to play Blade. It's like, yeah, here we go. So,
a lot of people complain about the TV show portion, though. Like Loki, it's going to be a TV show, I think.
Loki.
The thing with the TV shows, though, is like they said it's going to be movie quality. So it's like
yeah, they're going to be putting the same amount of budget into the shows.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting. I've never seen anything like that besides, I guess, Game of Thrones, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Disney got the money, so I ain't even sweating it. Disney can throw that type of money away.
Spider-Man just went to $1 billion.
Yeah, which was good. That was great.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
Y'all saw Home. Everybody saw Far From Home? Everybody in the chat, y'all saw Far From Home?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. It was a good Spider-Man movie. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So, better than Homecoming.
I got
I did, yeah.
This is a news article that was shared by Matador. He says PS4 is the third fastest selling console in the U.S. This is courtesy of Matt Piscatella. He said after 28 months in the market, the Switch has the fourth highest time aligned console install base in U.S. tracked history, trailing behind the Wii, PS2, and PS4. Then it goes on to say after 68 months on the market, the PS4 has the third highest aligned console install base. Tracked in the U.S. history.
It's done very well.
So
that's all I can say. It's done very well.
Incredible. Appreciate that, Amader. I didn't miss her, bro. Appreciate it.
What do y'all think about the female Thor shit? Because people saying that
she didn't even have that big of a role, though. You notice that shit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And people they saying that like people like us, like we're saying that they have agendas, but we just saying she hasn't been relevant in the MCU at all. Like, I can't remember if she was alive like during Endgame or not, or like when she got killed off. I didn't even know she got killed off. That's how.
Yeah, it's like we didn't know Valkyrie got killed off. Remember, we just thought Valkyrie just disappeared. It's like, nah, Valkyrie died.
I specifically told you that Valkyrie survived. The Russo.
No, she didn't survive. She didn't survive the snap though. They confirmed she died from the snap. No, she didn't. They confirmed she died.
Valkyrie did survive the snap. Valkyrie did New Asgard in Endgame. She survived. She was one of the 25% that survived. The Russo says she survived.
Isn't she that's a chick that was in Ragnarok?
Yeah, that was the chick in Ragnarok, the one that had the
She survived. Yeah. But Jane Foster has been Thor in the comic books, and remember the
true, but he's talking about in terms of like character development. She didn't really do much that make you really care about her becoming a female Thor.
She's just a romance addition.
Here's your question. Nobody's asking is Mjolnir has been destroyed by Hela. So I don't know what she's going to wield because she can't wield that because it doesn't exist. You know, in the timeline, it should be gone because Captain America returned it so that it got destroyed in Ragnarok. It went back to the timeline. So that's what nobody's asking. Everybody's so friggin' bent out of shape on them doing that the Jane Foster run, and they're just going to do a version of it. It's just not going to be Thor forever.
I mean, I'm not mad about it. Like,
sounds like a knockoff of Lady Sif. You remember Lady Sif?
Yeah, that's who they should have killed off.
Yeah, it sounds like Lady Sif.
Like, why now? You know what I mean? Like when she wasn't like relevant, like back then. Like they could have it would have been better if they built her up to this moment, and then we could have like seen that they were building her up to be Thor. Then it would have been better for me to accept the fact that she would be Thor. But they haven't done that. They haven't built her character. She's just there to be a romance.
I don't disagree with that. But if
get this out the way real quick. Shout out to Wraith. My bad, brother. Thank you for the super chat. He says, shout out to the panel. Respect to all you true gamers here. That's what you said.
Shout out to you too, bro.
Shout out to you, Ray. Thank you. I didn't see that.
Remember the enchantment that's on it. It doesn't say it has to be an Asgardian that holds that that has the power of Thor. It's he who is worthy. So
he's not Old Father though. So who is he to create such a power like that can curse the artifact? You know,
how is she gonna get the power? She's gonna get it from Thor, or is it like I don't understand?
That's a big thing. They don't explain this. How's she gonna get the power?
No, she's worthy of wielding the power of Thor. People got to remember that. If go on YouTube and just type in Thor loses Mjolnir. Just type that.
I know
in
that. Yeah, we know that.
Odin says before he throws it down behind him. He says, "Let ye who is worthy have the power of Thor." That's it. Thor is just a power that he has. That has. So that's all it is. It's been confused and they've made it a person, but it's just a power. So it's just like,
and the person has to be pure-hearted without malice.
Yeah,
I thought you had to have a warrior spirit.
No, you have to be worthy.
I thought you had to have a warrior spirit, but you had to be true of heart.
Vision had wielded it in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, he had a warrior spirit and he was true of heart.
Rumors about like them or Marvel, I mean,
like say he's on the side of life. Remember, he said that start.
Jane Foster together, like in this new Thor. Supposedly, Jane Foster and Valkyrie are supposed to have like a romance.
No, the romance allegedly will be Valkyrie and Captain Marvel. Allegedly, it's just something.
Valkyrie and Captain Marvel.
It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor.
You said Valkyrie and Captain Marvel. In the comics, it's supposed to be Captain Marvel and War Machine.
Yeah, I mean, I know. And the way that
War Machine getting those Captain Marvel cheeks. Okay.
Yeah, in the comics, he got them in the comics.
It's just like Miles Morales hooked up with Gwen Stacy in the comic.
I mean, War Machine was given that proton cannon in the comic books. Man.
Yeah, he was pretty much showing up on his doorstep, like because War Machine was living in one of Stark's old penthouses, and she was just showing up. She would just show up there. He was like,
you have to be a woke feminist to live that million, whatever that thing is.
We'll have to wait and see if they go with that. That's just stuff that's been floated at Disney. Now that they have a roadmap to follow to get people to spend their money, they're going to do it. They're going to keep doing it until people stop showing up. So
yeah, they got that.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I can't see them recasting a new Wolverine for like the X-Men. Like it's just so hard to leave Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman just been embodying the role for so long.
I know, man. That's like how
you seen Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
Y'all seen Wolverine, right? The movie Wolverine.
Oh, Charlie Hunnam allegedly.
Yeah, I seen that one. I don't really remember it too well.
It's the one where we got the classic Wolverine mask at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was a Japanese one, right?
Yeah, it was that one. Puerto Rock. Shout out to Puerto Rock. He actually showed me a clip about that. I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about that clip. But it's funny. We were just talking about not Endgame, but Far From Home, and the fact that they made Mysterio look that good. I'm pretty damn sure they can definitely nail the X-Men with their classic looks. Easy, very easy with the way things are looking.
But Far From Home, I enjoyed that. That was intense. It was funny.
It was real dark in certain areas too, especially with the nightmares. Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, the nightmare scene. Yeah, they like I said, they got a lot of stuff from the comic, or not from the comic, from the video game. You play the video game, so it was. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
First class. So if they can make it look similar to that or a little better, I'd be.
And facts too. By the way, Logan. Yes, that. Logan was fire.
Yeah,
if they ever recast him again, if Hugh Jackman ever played Wolverine again, it has to be rated R again. It can't be PG.
Yeah, he's not. Charlie Hunnam is allegedly on the short list.
That's the only way you can do Wolverine justice.
For Marvel to cast in the Fantastic Four.
They want everybody wants Bryan Cranston and Emily Blunt. They're already married.
Fantastic Four, though. Here's the thing: who in God's name is actually invested in the Fantastic Four?
A lot of people are apparently. Especially
y'all invested. Y'all invested in the new ones? I'm not. I got to see it first, but I'm not really invested.
Like it's not right for the Fantastic Four to be like a dark movie, like The Dark Knight or some shit. Like the tone has to be really lighthearted. for like the Fantastic Four. It can't be like dark and grim and shit.
No, I can't. But you got to also base it upon. I mean, just take the concept of what they did with the previous movies and just do it a little bit more better in terms of art direction and actual character animations. That's where my whole problem was at with the last couple of movies. But the storylines and everything that they did for the previous ones, they were okay.
Wait till they what's that movie called? No, what's that character? Galactus. Wait till Galactus. I'm pretty sure they'll probably try to push him next. They'll probably try to push Galactus next, but the right way. Hey, Nat, you still there? I know Nat's quiet.
Silver Surfer was one of the like that one Fantastic Four movie. I forgot what one.
I know we bored Nancy. She was still here.
No, I'm here. I stepped away for a second, but I'm here.
What you think about the whole Avengers thing and the new Avengers movies and whatnot? What you think?
Well, the one thing I heard part of it when you were talking about
Blade.
I think only one or two people actually should have got that spot, either Wesley Snipes or Michael Jai White.
Oh, Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White, yeah. He can't act though. He's not a great actor, but yeah, I see. I know why.
He's pretty decent, but I think what she's trying to say is like he knows martial arts. That's what everybody's like kind of mad about with Mahershala Ali or whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah. That he doesn't know like martial arts and shit.
No, he's got to start training for it. He don't have to do it. Another guy they were looking at to play Blade was John Boyega because he already works for Disney through Star Wars. But Mahershala Ali got that role. So,
wait, Nancy, which one are you most hyped for from like Phase 4 that you've seen?
I haven't been paying much attention to it, so I'm really not going to talk on that.
Okay. What y'all think about the dark films they're trying to push now, like Brightburn and whatnot?
Trash.
I don't know. It looks kind of bad.
Weak. I'm sitting there going, he's like, I hate you. You're liars. He's like gently throwing the pictures. You're liars. I hate you all. Goes out. Take the world. Take the world.
There's this movie on Amazon that Sony made called Attractor or something like that. It is straight up trash. It is
God.
It's about this spaceship that crash lands in the center of Russia, and the aliens tell the Russians, just leave us alone so we can fix our ship. That's it. So the whole movie's about. It's garbage. And so
he brought him up too. No, there was two things that I forgot to talk about too. Mortal Kombat, the movie. It's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out based on the game. They're doing it right. Nobody has come out and actually offered Michael Jai White a role as like Jax or something.
And that's fucked up.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Perfect as Jack.
Yeah, why is he not Jax? That's Jax right there. Perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And just like the new Spawn movie, I wouldn't mind seeing Michael come back as Spawn.
Movie, right? Basically.
You said what?
Like this new Mortal Kombat movie is supposed to be like really high budget.
Yeah, very, very high budget. Very high budget. More pirate budget than Paul Davis Anderson.
So like, I guess when they die, they die.
Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with these movies because it was the first ones was like I don't know. They were saying flawless victory, even though dudes was like getting hit like 40 times.
Who's directing the movie? I heard the guy that made the XXX Return of Xander Cage is directing it. So I don't know.
Did he? Oh no!
I think that's the guy that's directing it. So
oh no!
Like already, because that movie fucking sucked.
That movie was straight garbage.
That shit was straight to DVD. My God,
it needed to. Like that Mortal Kombat Part 2 did. That was so bad. It was out of the theaters in 3 weeks.
Annihilation.
Yeah, it was out of the theaters.
Oh Lord, I remember that.
Yeah, that movie is a guilty pleasure for me, bro. I love that movie.
Annihilation or the first one?
But I didn't. But I think they could have done better with that.
Wait, you say guilty pleasure? Are we talking about the same one? The one with Shao Kahn? We talking about the same one, right? The one with Shao Kahn?
Are we having a lower expectations moment,
bro? They had Shao Kahn do a cannonball from like 40 feet. He did a cannonball flip from like 40 feet in the air.
Yeah, I'm just saying, ain't nobody watching it and coming out saying that they should win like an Oscar award, Academy Award.
Oh no! It was good. It was good for what the production value was at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Bro, they did Johnny Cage filthy though. They did him wrong.
Oh yeah.
He went for the damn shadow kick for the second time. And this time he just ran into a brick wall. Come on, man. They did him wrong.
How about the animations for the dragon when Liu Kang turned into the dragon?
That was terrible.
I heard it.
That shit was.
Remember the fight in the forest with Scorpion and I think it was Johnny Cage. I think it was. They were
Oh, and the first one. That first one. Yeah, that one was hot.
That fight was hot. And Liu Kang against Reptile? That was a good fight too.
Yeah,
hey, Aaron Summers brought up the child right there. He said, "Y'all remember the Street Fighter anime movie?"
That
was lit. That was he brought up.
That shit was trash.
Oh no! You mean the one with Van Damme?
No, the anime, the anime movie.
Oh no! I'm talking about the anime. The anime was fucking lit.
The anime was fucking fire.
Yeah, he's on the anime movie, not the one with Van Damme. No, not the one with Van Damme. No. I remember that too because Van Damme tried to flex before he actually got back in action. It was funny as hell. Like, he ripped his shirt. I'm like, what is going on here?
He looked really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god! They even turned that shit into a PlayStation 1 fighting game too. I remember that joint flopped so badly on Electronic Gaming Monthly. I think it scored like a 3.5 or some shit like that.
Jesus Christ!
That's how bad it was.
Nah, the worst anime movie, even though we are not talking about it, is Dragon Ball Evolution. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah, that shit was
terrible. Oh my god. Yo, Piccolo looked like a crackhead in that movie.
Yo, they made that movie so horrible.
Oh Jesus, dude felt so uncomfortable. You can tell dude was uncomfortable playing that Dark Piccolo. He was so uncomfortable playing that shit.
Nigga look like Invader Zim, bro. Like, yo, come on, man.
To your leader.
Dude did the Kamehameha. I'm like, bro, what's going on here? The Kamehameha is the chi charge. I'm like, motherfucker, no, it is not. Stop.
Oh man,
no, it is not.
That Kamehameha, he should have been done way better than what it was.
And didn't he turn into a gorilla too, or some shit?
Oh yeah, that was so. Oh god.
Even that was bad. That was like they didn't even do that shit right.
They didn't do the great ape the way they.
Y'all remember the Dragon Balls? They were the size of marbles.
Yo, everything with that Dragon Ball Evolution movie was everything that should have not been done in the first place.
He didn't even have the same character traits he did like in the anime. Like it was just so bad.
My God.
I'm just glad that Toriyama said, "Yo, fuck this. We're not doing this shit ever again. We're just gonna stick to what makes our bread and butter, which is the anime films." And that's it.
Yeah, some anime like they don't
watch that damn. I'd rather watch that damn Power Ranger movie that came out. You know that one that recently came out. I'd rather watch that than watch that shit.
That one was lit, bro.
I kind of enjoyed that. I'm not gonna.
That joint was lit.
What, the new Power Rangers movie?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was alright for what it was. I like the alien, effect they went with, but I think I preferred that short film joint that was released before that. That was fire. I mean, you got dudes shooting automatics. Come on.
The Black Ranger was doing like cocaine and shit.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like come on, man. That was perfect. I'm like, oh, bro, this is the Power Rangers I want to see. This is the joint I grew up with, but my childhood growing up with me. I like that. So,
yeah, that shit was hot, bro.
That was cool.
I mean, when these turnstile movies, when they turn them from their adaptations to live action films, like. There's a lot of things that people got to take into consideration and use the unfortunately the MCU formula. Stick to the script. Don't deviate. Don't deviate with extra bullshit that's not needed for the films.
About to go back in the comics. About to read that Shattered Grid shit. Like he's telling me about.
Marvel is so good because like they take the source material, but they don't literally like make it that exact same. They change things that aren't that important, but they don't change like key aspects of the character and stuff like that. That's why they're so good at what they do. Cause like look what happened with the Lion King. There was a lot of people upset that they literally made it
too realistic.
All right, so the thing about the Lion King, listen, you seen it, right, Pablo?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, the scene that "Long live the King" speech, that line.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
They leaked it on YouTube, so if you want to see it, you can look at it. But I seen this movie already. I was disappointed with it because you know how it was so effective in the original, right? Because how slowly he says it and he looks all maniacal in his face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like long live the king. In this movie, the new one, he's just like long live the king / he drops.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
It was like where's the emotion? And that's literally what was the problem. So it's got me fearing right now because you know they got other films that y'all know they're gonna definitely try this with, right? Like Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? Maybe Tarzan, maybe something else. You know they're gonna.
Well, there's a live action Tarzan already. It was straight from Judah.
What was that produced by them or like?
No, that wasn't produced by them. No, yeah, that wasn't produced by them.
But I know a lot of their animated movies, they want to do the live animation, but that's because that Jungle Book one was so well done.
Yeah, but the thing is with Jungle Book, like you have to understand, the Jungle Book had its own dynamic comedic action towards it.
Right? Yeah.
And with the Lion King, you had a serious tone, but you still had some moments of comedy within. You know, when Simba was already hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa. So that's where the comedic part should have been done more accurately.
Oh, they cut some of your songs too, by the way, guys, in the chat. For those of you that are long-term fans of the Lion King, some of your favorite songs have been cut. Just to give you the heads up.
I'm gonna be hella tight because even my
songs
daughter
have been like they've been shortened, and some other scenes have been like lengthened for some ungodly reason. You know, it's weird.
Like my oldest daughter, she went to watch the movie the other day, and she told me like she didn't like the realism aspect of the characters, how they look so much lifelike.
Yeah,
it kind of like drew her away.
Call me later if I don't go with my mom.
He said he wanted to see a Thundercats. Here's the thing: wasn't there something like that a long time ago? But it was supposed to be made by Michael Bay.
Yeah, and they canned it.
And they canned it. Yeah, you remember that? See, thank God that didn't happen because this man damn near butchered the '90s.
Yo, I'm not gonna hold down. Like, yo, I really enjoyed the Transformers movies. Like, for what.
But do you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Do you like the Turtles though?
The Ninja Turtles? Yeah, that wasn't that bad either, really.
Come on, man. He turned the sewers into a water park. Come on, man.
Shit in there that was like kind of dumb. I don't like the fact that he kind of made like the cinematics look really similar to Transformers because
that was where the problem was.
Yeah, I'm like, why the turtles 90 feet tall?
Yeah, like the cinematography looked too similar to Transformers and shit.
Yeah, then he went and got Megan Fox to play April O'Neil. I'm like, listen, Judith Hogue will always be April O'Neil to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Megan Fox had something wrong with her thumb, so.
Oh God!
Is she even doing big movies anymore? I haven't seen her.
Let's be real. Let's be real here with Megan Fox. She's pretty much a B-level actress.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, she's been put in high budget, movies, and that was mostly Michael Bay. That was it. She only had one movie after that, and that was called Jennifer's Body, which ironically.
Isn't it weird that Michael Bay movies? Maybe he got a thing for her. Maybe.
I don't know. That'd be weird. Michael Bay. Well, at least we now are in a new generation, right? We officially saw the brand new Star Wars of our generation, which is the Avengers. Is now the #1 movie. Period. It outsold Avatar, so that was dope.
Finally, yes.
Yeah, it outsold Avatar. It's now #1. Period. And it was amazing. I'm glad about that. So hopefully the next series is great. I'm looking forward to those. But yeah. I know a lot of people probably tired of hearing this comic book talk, and we can definitely go on for days, but wasn't really much to happen in the actual gaming world. But I just want to say shout out to everybody who came through. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Do us a huge favor, hit that like button. We do appreciate it, and to everybody who came through, again, thank you. Shout out to my homie Pablo for coming on. It's been a minute, but it was good to have him on here. And Nancy being here as well as everybody else. I'm going to let everybody do their outros, and we're going to shut it down. So, ladies first. Nancy, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. You know what this is? This is your girl TTFP. Good to be back, Ryan. Everybody hit that like button. Show everybody some love here. Okay, and I'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely. Mr. Pablo III, go ahead, brother.
Yo, it's Pablo III, a.k.a. The Real P3. You already know. Follow me on Twitter, Harlem X Poncho. I don't really got a YouTube channel like that be popping. So just follow me on Twitter. We'll talk some shit.
All right. Mr. Craig Harris.
Yeah.
You're right.
Everybody have a good Friday. This is Google. Enjoy your Google Hangouts last weekend, folks. And I'll be doing some more streaming later on and play your games or the terrorists weekend.
Oh man, hey Aaron, I'm about to hit you up on hit me up on PSA. I gotta get you on here. I gotta get you on here one of these damn shows. He done tickled a damn fucking thing I actually wanted to happen a long time ago. A Metal Gear movie done right. Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh yeah,
I would love. To
I would pay for that shit for sure.
I think the director of that movie is like a really big fan of Kojima and shit. So
yeah, or at least
should be good.
Yeah. Fuck it.
That's still one of
it's funny, even with Metal Gear Solid 4, they gave him that super cinematic death. Every time you die, you just hear Snake.
Yeah. And one time she was just screaming. Yeah, she was just screaming hysterically one time.
The damn laughing octopus and shit. That was a lot of weird jokes. Carlos, go ahead, brother.
Hey man, as always, episode 70 in the books. And hey, follow me on Twitter as well at just me and my girls 4. Check out my YouTube webpage at Carlos Fernandez, Sengoku Basar 87 Fernandez. Yes, I know it's long, it sounds very retarded, but hey, it is what it is. And subscribe to each and every single individual in this podcast. And be sure to tune in next Friday for another episode of the RGT podcast. Deuces.
All right, this is Big Cloud Gaming, your host for today. And again, thank you guys again for coming through. Not a lot to talk about, but you already know we like to definitely put on the show regardless for y'all. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. But we will see you guys, as always, next week, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, as always. Much love to y'all. Much respect to y'all. Thank y'all again. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all be good.